Of course, there was an extensive effort through really most of the year to get regulatory approval for the combination, which was received in September. And of course, on September 18th, we officially brought the two airlines together as one company. And now we're on to the next phase, which is a big and busy phase in its own right. And that is working on all of the different milestones to fully integrate the airline, but keeping the Hawaiian brand separate, which it will always be. And so it's into a new fascinating period at Hawaiian Airlines now.
Well, speaking of period of time, Thanksgiving is normally a busy time for travel. What did Hawaiian experience during this busy time, and how was the first time you, being CEO, overseeing this busy traveling season?
Yeah, I tell you, Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday, and in part because of the role that airlines play in helping get people to their family and loved ones for the Thanksgiving holiday in a very compressed period of time, much more so than the Christmas holidays where the travel is more spread out. And so it was a very busy few days. We flew over 150,000 guests at Hawaiian Airlines in just the last week. And I want to start by thanking the Hawaiian Airlines employees, because many of them worked on the holiday and in the days surrounding the holiday. They worked very hard and they focused on safety and on delivering a great operation and a terrific guest experience for our customers. So I just a big mahalo to all of the employees of Hawaiian Airlines. But Ryan, we had a great Thanksgiving weekend. I enjoyed being out with the team on Thanksgiving morning, and I know they were working hard. They were well fed as well, and that was an important aspect of us supporting our team.
You know, the thing about Hawaiian Airlines is that it's more than an airline, especially to Kama'aina, to people who grew up here, who grew up traveling on that airline, and for guests who come to the islands too. There is this feeling that your vacation basically starts the moment you step on the plane. And you talked about the importance of keeping the integrity of the Hawaiian Airlines brand. What are some of the steps that you're taking to make sure that the Hawaiian Airlines experience remains intact, even though it is now part of this larger group?
Yeah, it's an important question, Yunji, because we absolutely intend to maintain the brand, but we will be combining into a single airline. That's a process and an effort that will take much of the next year. And so during that period of time, Hawaiian will continue to operate as a separate operating entity as it has been doing. But over the next 12 to 18 months, many of the training procedures, the manuals, all of the sort of processes for running the airline will be blended and harmonized into a single operating platform. But yet throughout all of that, and even well beyond forever, we're going to maintain the Hawaiian Airlines brand and the Alaska Airlines brand separate and distinct from one another. So a lot of the effort right now is to define the playbook for what that will look like. And you said it, folks appreciate so much the special connection to Hawaii they feel whenever they're flying on a Hawaiian Airlines flight. And so we're identifying what are the signature moments of the experience of flying with Hawaiian Airlines, and then we're going to preserve those. And frankly, Alaska Airlines has some signature moments of their own, and we'll preserve those on the Alaska side. But the intent will be that anytime somebody is flying on the aircraft with the Pualani on the tail, that they will have those signature experiences anytime they're flying with us.